Most people do their game reviews with scripts and drafts. I do mine off the top of my head. This is why this show is called Game Reviews on the Fly.
Can't hold on much longer. I will never let go. I know it's a one-way track. Tell me now, how long this will last?
What's up, everybody? My name is Bazmanya, and welcome to a game review of Sonic Adventure. This is the game that I played recently and I talked about in the update video and the show I was thinking of doing. So basically what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to be talking about Sonic Adventure. I'm going to be playing some Skywars, but it's really meant to be more of a podcast. The Skywars don't matter. I don't know if in the future that will change from Skywars to another game, but there probably will be some footage on screen and some music in the background. Don't know that yet because I'm just recording it right now and will be edited later. So yeah, I'll jump into some Skywars games and I'll start the review. Sonic Adventure is a game about Sonic and all of his friends. You can play as like 7 different characters, and I'm here to go into details on which characters are good in my opinion and which aren't, and my opinions on the whole game and each story as in itself. So first of all, I want to talk about the whole game generally instead of focusing on specific characters to start. And the whole game, of course, it's Sonic the Hedgehog, so it's based all around being fast. But there were some factors about the game that could have definitely been improved. For one thing, the camera was actually awful. I hated it. And I really wish that they could have, done it better. Now that's just really the only general thing, because every single story is different. So first, I'm of course going to get in the main man himself, Sonic the Hedgehog. So, Sonic's story, of course, is the basic story of the game. Go fast, and kill Dr. Eggman and kill Chaos. What I'm gonna do in this actually is I'm gonna try and avoid spoilers, so not gonna go into detail about who Chaos is, just know that he is important, I guess. Yeah, so Sonic's story based around going fast, and it was okay. I mean, I thought it was fun. Some stages were actually slow, ironically. So those weren't great, and there was a lot of stuff where you're getting stuck in places that you don't want to be, and it's really annoying. But other than that, it was interesting. It was good to get me into the game. Sonic's homing attack is it doesn't work. I hate it. It's actually bad. It never worked for me. It made me angry. It really wasn't such an exciting feature, and personally I think it needed tons of improvement. Next story I'm going to talk about is Tails the Fox. In my opinion, Tails' story was way better than Sonic's. Basis for Tails' story is that he is kind of jealous of Sonic, and he wants to be more like him. So all of his stories are about racing Sonic, which personally I thought was great because those levels were faster than the Sonic levels. They were more based around going fast, and Tails' ability was that he could fly, and he was super fast for some reason. I don't know, he felt faster than Sonic. So really everything about that story was way more exciting for me and way better. Tails can attack when he's in the air, which to me stunk. Yeah, I actually really loved that. But the next story I'm going to talk about is Knuckles. I don't know. I'm going to be real, I don't really... Knuckles' story is not very memorable to me, at least. I don't know. When I'm trying to think now, I'm what was Knuckles' story? Because I mean, he can glide. I guess it was good gliding. I'll talk later about something I remember about the gliding, but it was it was fun to glide around like freaking Superman, I guess. His attacks aren't great, and Knuckles, I don't know. There were some moments where I was just kind of soaring, and I was like fighting like Chaos 4 or something, and like Knuckles would like just attack. I don't know if his attack counts, or like if his flying counts as an attack. I didn't know that, but it was confusing nonetheless. Next I want to move on to, I realized after the fact while editing that I never talked about side games and the sub modes, so I'm going to play a little bit more and talk about those. I don't think I liked a single side game. Side games, there were too many. They were all over the place, and really none of them made, I don't know, I skipped as many of them as I could because I was just bored by them. The first one was there was the sky chase scenes, which there were too many of. There was one, I'm going to count Sonic's casino stage because that was just pinball for 10 minutes. That's not a stage. Oh, and there were the racing stages in Twinkle Park. Those weren't fun. And there was lastly there was the sand hill thing for Tails. None of them were fun. None of them were really exciting. They were all really confusing and seemed very pointless because they didn't get you anything. Which, like, sure, like, that's fine, but minigames usually give you something. Yeah, that's really the only criticism I can give to Tails' story, was that there were too many side games and not enough story progress at some points. There was one time where he did, like, 3 levels in a row that were all sub-games, which, yeah, sure, it's story progress, but it wasn't really anything exciting for me. So yeah, now back to your regularly scheduled program of Big the Cat. Now, if anyone knows anything about Sonic Adventure, you know that you hate Big the Cat, because Big the Cat's story is a fishing minigame. That's right. In a game based around going fast, you have an entire story based around fishing. Probably the worst gimmick probably ever. And it wasn't fun. In the first level could not catch Froggy, which is the goal. You're trying to catch Froggy. The little dude was nibbling on my line for literally forever, and I could not get him to hit so that I could like pull him in. I literally paused the game and I had to look up an online walkthrough how to catch Froggy. Let's just say I hated it. Next, I'm going to move on to the 6th story, which was whatever. He's a robot. His name is like Gamma or something. Not important. Anyways, he was a robot and he was based all around shooting, which was fun. It was fun. It wasn't Sonic, but it was entertaining nonetheless. It's just some of his stages were the easiest thing ever, and some of his stages were really difficult. And I found that to be true, that I could destroy some of his bosses in 2 seconds, or it took me 3 hours to get to the boss. Not 3 hours, I'm exaggerating, but something of the such. And he also had like the gliding thing that I was talking about with Knuckles, except it was slow as balls, and I hated it because I would just be like, I would want to glide and I want to have fast walking or whatever, fast flying, but it just wouldn't because it's slow, which I don't like in Sonic games. And I know he's not Sonic or whatever, but at least make him go fast, because Tails went fast, Knuckles went fast. Big the Cat, of course, didn't go fast, but that's because he is big, and I'm not going to go into the final character yet. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm done with Gamma, Beta, whatever. I don't know his name, and I don't care about his name. He wasn't exciting. He was just fine. Because the last character I have to go into is Amy the Hedgehog. Oh my god. Nothing. I'm saying this, I will go on the record and say that Amy's story was 100% worse than Big the Cat's. I mean, my reasoning for that is that it wasn't exciting. The whole story was based around her running from a robot, and it wasn't like Tail's story where you're like, oh, you're racing, because Amy was slow as balls, and I hated it. And she had her hammer, and her hammer was really gimmicky, and it wouldn't attack some things at some points because you weren't aiming the right direction. And the robot was annoying because he'd disappear and reappear at certain points, and he'd freaking like Kool-Aid Man run through the wall like a maniac. And it was just, and she was slow, and nothing about her was at all exciting. And I actually I don't know, but like, I don't know. Really what I'm just trying to say is Amy sucked, and I want her and her freaking bird to die, and then I will go, I don't know what I'll do, I'll just get angry. The last story is, if you beat all 6 stories, which I did because I'm a loser, you unlock the 7th, which is Supersonic. Supersonic is only the final boss. The final boss was not only the most disappointing and boring fight ever, but also just pure annoying. Because the fight, yes, it wasn't, first of all, it wasn't at all creative. It was just run fast, pretty much, which, yes, it's Sonic, but that's not how Sonic's combat works. Sonic has the dumb homing attack that doesn't work. It was, yeah, you just run fast into the boss and the boss dies. And sure, that'd be fine if there wasn't garbage projectiles that were basically unavoidable that you had to avoid in order to run into him or whatever. It would be, in like, sure, you get him down, it takes like 3 hits, and then you're like, oh great, he's done. And then like the second phase appears out of nowhere. And that'd be fine if there was a second phase, unless they gave it some reason of why he did that, other than just, oh, here I am, and then he pops up, and he's the same thing again. But it's not like he's at all harder, he just has more garbage projectiles. I got so mad at this version of the fight, because I died so many times on it. I will say, Open Your Heart, that's the name of I think that's the name of the song. I'm gonna put it in the intro or whatever. Open Your Heart was a good song, but it only played for the first phase of the fight, and I liked it, and the second song was not what I wanted at all. The soundtrack was good? I don't know. There is, of course, I don't know. There's the one song by Tails that sounds like the person who's singing it is making it up on the as she sings it, which is funny to me because it's so true. There was that one Amy theme that was like I don't know. Play it right now. Yeah. Does anyone know what the heck that person is saying? Because, like, it's like fire or something, but it sounds like she's saying a beat. I'm clearly not in a good mood to sing right now after talking about 3D Sonic games. But, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the end of this review. So I want to say thank you for watching. If there are any other games that you want me to play and review, I do have a couple up my sleeve that I'm trying to finish right now. And I am getting a couple new games so that I will be able to finish them, or any other series that you guys want me to possibly begin. I'm always open to recommendations on this channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. But first, you should watch the bloopers. I don't know. I'm gonna make bloopers I had some intro outtakes, ironically, considering I did not script this video. But the intro, I messed up. Yeah, just watch the bloopers. Most people do their game reviews with scripts and drafts. I do mine off the top of my head. That's why this show... Cut that out. Most people do...